Well, good morning, everyone, or afternoon, or evening, no matter what time you're looking at this. Tim Time Projects. Tim Time. So what I will do is look at a couple things with the field strength meter, using everybody's favorite Kenwood TS940. Have it set at about 10 watts, probably on the 10 meter band, right around 28.5 or something, just because that's the band that's the highest in frequency that radio has. And I want to look at some losses. And the one is with the antenna tuner, to see when I use the antenna tuner, does it really make that much of a difference out of the antenna? And none of this stuff's calibrated. It's just we're poking around and hoping to see a little bit of a change. The other thing I'll do is try and connect a bunch of stuff up to the radio. You know, like there'd be a bunch of cables with the barrel SO239 barrel to connect two PL259s together. Maybe throw an SWR meter in there and see if does that affect anything. And of course, we'll put the bird in there and see that's truly supposed to be like doesn't affect anything. So we'll try that, throw a couple of things in there, and first thing I'll do is just run it first without anything, just the antenna. We'll put the field strength meter in, and I'll have my lovely assistant help us with that. We'll key the radio, see what the wattage is, then we'll put a bunch of stuff. Well, we'll put an SWR meter in first, then we'll put a bunch of stuff in, and just see if there is really that much of a loss when you throw a bunch of test cables and jumpers and all kind of stuff in. So let's roll on. All right, so there we have field strength meter, and you can see the antenna in the background. We're, I don't know, 35 feet from the antenna. I'm using to talk to Sam downstairs so she can push the key button for me. And I'll show you when I key this, it actually makes the field strength meter go. Oh, move back some. There it is. So I don't want. No, not yet. Give me 1 second.
Busy. I'm spinning around.
Okay, as you can hear, Sam is spinning around. All right, Sam, without the antenna tuner on, just regular, push the send button on the radio. Okay, you can unsend.
Wrong button. Okay, I unsent, but okay, I'm good. I undid everything I did.
Okay, since things messed up and you pushed other buttons, if you undid everything, push the send button again. Okay, as you can see, it's almost to the second line. Okay, unsend.
Sending over.
Okay, now the second button over is the antenna tuner. And I want you to actuate that or push that button in. You'll see the little yellow light on the display come on, say AT.
Activating the button over.
Why do I have to put up with this? Has the button been activated? Repeat, has the button been activated?
It has been activated. Button has been activated. Repeat, over.
All right, thanks for that. Okay, I want you to hit the send button again then.
Hitting the send button, over.
Okay, as you can see.
Button is hit. I repeat, the send button is hit.
Okay, you can unsend it now.
Okay, I've unsended it. I repeat, I have unsended it.
Okay, so as you can see, that is, it gained about a half of a line. The radio itself set at 10 watts, so we're assuming from where I'm sitting at 2 lines is 10 watts. Maybe one line is, we'll just say if it's linear, one line would be 5 watts. So half a line would be 2.5 watts. So at 10 watts, when you use the antenna tuner, it looks like the output had increased to 12.5, from 10 to 12.5.
And again, I don't know if this is linear and we're not using anything digital. We're just kind of using our eyeballs and doing it. But you can see there definitely was an increase with the.
He's dead. Are you there?
Yeah, stand by. There was definitely an increase with the.
Not standing, I am sitting by.
I'm gonna kill her. There's definitely an increase with the antenna tuner being matched. Now that's on 28.310, and if you remember, that was one of the worst bands, worst SWRs we had. It was above 2 with this antenna. So just some food for thought. Okay, so there we go. We're set at about 28.5, using, I don't know, just about 10 watts out. Oop, I put on power. A little bit more, right about 10 watts. See how that works out with the field strength meter. There's nothing connected. I have the, can't really see, but I have the cable from outside going straight into the radio. I don't even have my usual patch cable that I use so I can attach things. So let me go out and get the field strength meter set up and we'll go from there. Okay, I did have to make one change. I had to kick up the power just a little bit so we had a decent reading outside because I don't know how much we'll lose. So let's see. We're showing, I guess around 20 watts. And as you can see, the bird's on. That looks more like about 15 watts. Okay, so this test will be obviously with the bird in. I'm trying to minimize outside influence, and I'll stay right about where I was. Okay, Sam, you're good to push the button.
The button is about to be pushed.
All right, let's see. It looks like we have about the same thing. We're on 2.5. It's hard to tell because the sun's shining out here. Okay, you can unpush the button.
Button is unpushed.
And one more time, push the button.
Button is pushed.
Actually, it looks like more like 3. Okay, you can unpush the button. It's hard to tell with the sunlight giving me all those shadows. Okay, so now we've replaced the bird with the Micronta, the old Radio Shack meter, and we just hit send and see what we get. All right, that's showing higher. Okay. Okay, and here we go with the Micronta meter, the one downstairs, not this one, obviously. Okay, Sam, push the transmit button. Okay, as you can see, 1, 2.
Button has been pushed.
You can release the button. Looks like 3 lines again. All right, so now what we did was we have a cable coming out from the radio, going into the Micronta, coming out of the Micronta, going through some big long old cable here. Where's the other end? Here, goes to here, goes into the bird, comes out of the bird, goes to a long cable all the way back up to an antenna switcher, then back out of the antenna switcher to the heavy antenna that goes, the lead that goes to the outside. And I also want to add that I used 2 old connectors. You can see kind of how tarnished they are here for both of the barrel connectors for the PL259s. So now let's see what our reading is outside. And mind you, we haven't changed the power or anything, so if we can see a difference, who knows? Let's see which one you want to see move. There's the Micronta moving, and you can see the bird moving. All right. So we'll just go back. It's too much to look at. We'll just go back to this. Here we go for the final test, and that's with everything, all those weird cables and everything connected. Okay, Sam, you can push the send button.
Button is pushed.
So now it's almost not even 2 lines. Okay, you can unpush the send button. And one more time, push the send button. Push the send button. Okay, and you can unpush. So as you see, there was actually some loss. Looked to be about half when it went through all that crap. So kind of interesting. Okay, so what did we learn? It wasn't by all means or by any means a scientifically designed experiment. I might have been a couple inches closer or further from the meter when I ran it, and as you saw in some of the points when I actually got closer to it, it did influence the meter reading. I don't know how that meter's calibrated. I don't know if it's a linear scale or not. But I think it was just kind of ironic that after I put all this stuff in line here, that the reading substantially dropped. So, and if you look at a lot of times when you look at the specifications of a connector, it'll tell you how many dB you can expect to lose, and it is minute. In this case, we went extreme with what, 8 different connection points. So I think that shows you. Also, I didn't really see much of a difference at all when I put the either one of the meters in to read the wattage, the power meter. So I always wondered about that, if that actually robbed any power. I knew the Bird probably didn't because of the way that goes, but some of the aftermarket things, the way they run the wires through switches, or the RF signal rather through switches and stuff, I always thought they'd be very lossy. And it might be lossy, just didn't show up. You might lose 1/10 of your power, not that high, but and that wouldn't show up on what we were looking at. So anyhow, thanks for watching, and you can draw your own conclusions and want to run your own test, but it was something I wanted to do, and I figured I'd film it while I was doing it. Take care. Thanks for watching.